Hey everyone, welcome to GBE Reviews. I'm your host Joe, and today I'm going to be talking about the anime Akatsuki no Yona, or Yona of the Dawn in English. Akatsuki no Yona is a 24-episode, single-season anime produced by Studio Pierrot in 2014. It's an anime adaptation of a manga that shares the same name. This one's a tough one to talk about. As I watched each episode, I became more and more excited. I finished this anime pretty quickly, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. That being said, perhaps I've seen too many anime because I could tell about 5 episodes from the end where it was going to stop, and I suddenly got upset and frustrated. I realized this is an awesome, epic adventure, and unfortunately it was going to end exactly where it started and that nothing would be resolved and I wouldn't get a solid ending. In fact, the entire season could be thought of as a prequel to the real story, which should have started right around when the anime ended. Looking back on it, I'm left with a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, which frustrates me because I enjoyed it so much until then. So I guess back to the beginning. The story centers around Yona, a princess who is expelled from the castle with her bodyguard Haku, and embarks on a mission to unite the 4 dragons of legend who would accompany her and give her power. At first I think the motivation to gather them was to offer protection and allow Yona to stay safe. Unfortunately, as time goes on, it becomes clear there's no real mission. In fact, the final dragon basically says something along the lines of, okay, we're all here, so what are we going to do now? And it's as if the authors themselves were asking the same question, because all the characters kind of look at each other with blank stares, and it's pretty clear that they don't really know what to do. So here's the major question about the story. Is uniting the 4 dragons really the story they should have told in this universe? To me, it felt like it should have been a solid arc to what was the true story, Yona getting revenge or uniting the kingdom or whatever it is she was planning to do. I will say that the story of uniting the dragons was an interesting one. Each one comes from a different place, has different cultures and struggles, and each receives Yona in a different way. The group truly does go on several adventures in order to unite all the dragons, and the backstories on each are interesting and compelling. So if I had to summarize, I would say I enjoyed the story. It was a grand adventure full of diverse characters and locations, and had tons of heartwarming, intense moments. Unfortunately, looking back on it, I still feel that the true story is what happens next, and I can't help but feel a bit robbed. One final point on the story. It was a bit cliche. I'm not saying it was bad, but we've all seen a weak female character grow strong over time because of loss, and also tales of strangers uniting to serve a common master. That being said, the number of raw emotional moments was impressive. There were many tear-jerking moments and heartfelt moments, and the characters were all lovable and had a great relationship with each other. These moments are what drove me to want to keep watching. I truly wanted to find out what would happen next. I sure hope this anime gets a sequel one day, because this is one I'll definitely need to go to the source material for otherwise. The art in this anime is great. It looks modern, the characters all look solid, and the backgrounds are done well. There are several moonlight scenes that wowed me. The quality was that of a desktop background, and I found myself being impressed with the quality multiple times. The soundtrack to this anime was also quite good. The emotional pieces stood out to me and helped amplify the excellent writing to make the emotional moments even more memorable. Also, the blend of traditional Japanese and Chinese instruments with some more modern components made for some interesting tracks. Here's a couple of tracks to give you an idea what I'm talking about. So finally we have the characters. This is where the anime is truly distinctive. The characters are all well developed and markedly different from each other. They share a common bond of destiny and become strong companions and almost feel like a family by the end. Yona herself was extremely compelling. She takes the sheltered girl who has to grow up fast and become strong trope and pushes it to the limits. She has a slow and uphill battle, but over time, she does become strong and wise, except about romance, which it seems like she's completely oblivious of. One thing that stands out about her is her eyes. During moments of sheer rage or determination, her eyes glow with a fire that intimidates both viewer and adversary alike. Next we have Haku, who is Yona's bodyguard and longtime childhood friend. He's earned himself the nickname Thunder Beast because he's just so strong and powerful. He takes on the mission of protecting her, and it's pretty clear he'll do anything for her. He generally prefers she avoid fighting, and wants to shelter her, though over time he grows more and more fond of the new version of Yona, who's tough and determined. Su-won is another extremely compelling character. Even though he comes across as timid and soft, in reality I believe he's ruthless and clever. Though he's portrayed as the bad guy, there are several hints that he isn't bad, and that his motivations are good in nature and he truly cares about the people of the kingdom. By the end of the anime, I felt that he was grossly misunderstood and extremely powerful, and that may have added to why I was frustrated the anime ended before I could learn more about him. And finally, we have the four dragons. White Dragon is loyal to Yona from the beginning and wants nothing more than to serve her and fulfill his destiny. Blue Dragon views his powers as a curse and was raised in solitude, feared and loathed by his tribe. Green Dragon escapes his tribe at a young age and lives a life of adventure, wanting nothing to do with the other dragons. Yellow Dragon's a bit of a mystery, but mostly just goes with the flow since he has no particular mission to accomplish. The vast difference between each of their relationships with Yona are quite impactful to the story. Overall, the cast of characters is excellent. Not only the main characters, but also the side characters. All of them are appealing in their own way. There wasn't a single character I didn't like, and I found their chemistry to be greatly enhancing to the overall anime. Alright, time to answer that question. Should you watch this anime? So the kind of people who would like Akatsuki no Yona, aka the good. Do you like an anime with an epic adventure centered around meeting and acquiring powerful allies? Do you like fantasy anime set in the Middle Ages which centers around mystical beings but doesn't seem to incorporate any magic? Do you appreciate strong bonds of friendship and lots of emotional and uplifting moments mixed in with sad and tragic moments? And finally, do you like a female protagonist who grows strong over time in a gritty and realistic way and needs to work for her strength? Alright, so the kind of people who would dislike Akatsuki no Yona, aka the bad. Do you dislike an anime that has a romance plot that doesn't go anywhere and a smidge of a reverse harem feel? Do you get frustrated when an anime ends right when things are getting good? Do you dislike an anime with a lot of characters and prefer one that centers around a small group, particularly a duo? So unfortunately I'm conflicted on this one. I really enjoyed the story, I thought it was epic, I really liked all the characters and their interactions, the music and art were great, fight scenes were done well, I really liked everything about it. My problem was the ending. It felt like it ended just when the anime should have started. I mean, how do you end your anime in the middle of the climax? I feel like I wanted to know what happened next, and the fact that I didn't really disappointed me. And I really liked it. I was pushing through this anime pretty quickly. And as soon as I got near the end, I said, oh no, I'm not going to get anything good out of this. I know where it's going to stop, and it's going to stop where it started. And I was exactly right. So the problem is, if you're the kind of person who really wants an anime ending that's solid and strong, I think you're going to be as dissatisfied as I was. Though I think that the manga is out and pretty far along, so I should be able to catch up on the story there, but I hate when an anime does that. It's almost like a clickbait of anime. I don't know. Well, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys found this review helpful. If so, click like and subscribe and share with a friend. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but unfortunately I haven't been growing the channel as much as I'd like. I'd really like it if you guys could share with a friend, try to promote on social media. Anything you can do I'd really appreciate. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode of GBE Reviews. I'm your host Joe, saying to you, Jeanne.
Oh, please don't let me